There's no, well, hello, welcome, fucking whatever. There's no, it's hard to go back on the story we just talked about. I don't know how comfortable you want to tell that story anyway.
Absolutely, yeah, it's funny as ever.
So literally, I was late. I hate anybody being late. I fucking hate being late myself, especially to fucking asking Mick to be on the podcast. But the reason for it is potty training is going fucking one way or the other. It's gone Lord of the Flies is what it's gone, Mick. This year, my a big jealousy is, you know, the not shedding of fucking not giving a fuck, the ingrained natural, in the same way fucking, I don't know, we know how to smoke fags really well without thinking. He knows how to not give a fuck that age of 3. Like,
Right.
bollocks naked, like waving at tractors. Like, do you know what I mean?
Man,
like,
as I was saying to you before, like when I was looking after my nephew, so he's potty training as well, and he's pretty good at it. He can go to the bathroom by himself, but he
right.
will just occasionally shit himself and be like, just want to keep you on your toes, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I could see him like kind of fucking squirming a bit, and I was like, "Do you need a poo?" And he's like, "Need a poo." So I put him on his little potty, and he did a shit, and I was trying to wipe his arse. He's just running around the house, bare ass, the shitty, and I'm like, "Mate." I'm trying
I'll
to
never get my
talk to him
deposit back.
yeah, but I was trying to talk to him like another man. Like,
Yeah.
bro, dude, you know, calling him things he's never heard before. And then eventually wiped his arse, and it was like, it was a ghosty. Like there was no, when you clean his bum, it's like, oh, fair play, you've clearly got a healthy diet.
Nice.
And then he looked like he still needed a shit, so I texted my sister, and I was like, does he ever poo and then, you know, not like need to poo again? And my sister was like, how big was the poo? So I'm like looking at the potty. And I'm like, I don't know, like a dwarf's fist. And my sister was like, anything less than a foot and he might still have to go. And I was like, Jesus Christ, he's only 1.5 feet tall himself, fuck's sake. Like,
fucking hell.
So that child shits like a Bartlett.
Yeah. Yeah, you a good shitter.
Oh man. Do you know what? I've been looking after myself recently. I didn't realize I had IBS until about 6 months ago.
Mickey, I could have told you that 5 years ago.
See, that's the thing. I thought shitting like that was normal.
You said it to me one time. I kind of went, no, I don't think that's.
I thought it was perfectly normal to just make your toilet bowl look like Jackie Onassis' dress.
like a Jackson Pollock in the fucking
just a complete splatter gun. Like I had no idea they're supposed to come out like cigars. And now I'm like, I'm actually keep my shits in a box now and showing the people when they come around. Got those from Cuba.
Like a sod of turf.
And they're not supposed to be red either. Didn't know that.
Why mine got hands? Why has it got hands? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I used to do shit. Someone take a shit.
I just hope somebody, this is their first ever time ever hearing of either one of us and just stumbled on this. Because everybody else will be like, yeah, they have form for it.
I do often hope that I can say something so revolting on a podcast it causes a minor car crash.
You almost have. A truck nearly went into the center median of the M8 on one of the ones that you were on with me. Yeah, good. Yeah. She almost jackknifed and took out a ton of cars.
I was like, I quit. That's me.
Yeah, you can rock any fucking theater in the world, but if you've killed somebody as a result of your laughter. Yeah.
I'm sick of killing rooms. I want to start killing individuals.
How is it? But your guts are good.
Yeah, man. So I got this thing called L-glutamine. So it's bodybuilders use it apparently. It's like a amino acids thing.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't. I mean, it wasn't the greatest medical advice. I saw a guy on YouTube who was like, double dose this every day, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. I'm surprised it's cleared up and everything.
I was going to ask you, it cleared your fucking psoriasis up.
Man, well, I mean, it's still there a little bit, but it's compared to like the last time I saw you, it was still in fucking agony.
You're not going around like fucking Big J Okerson with the fucking fingerless gloves on, or
exactly. Yeah, I could drive the car bare handed.
Micky Dice Bartlett. This is how much the man loves his new car. It
Oh
just
man, do you know what? It's such a. I put 10,000 miles in that car already.
fuck off.
Swear to God, man. I forgot how much comedians have to
Oh,
drive,
that's
like when the world's open again.
I only looked at my own. I was like, do you know the little sticker that the garage will put up going, you're trying to come back to us at this mileage? Now they always keep it short. Like, be back to us in 3,000 miles. And you're like, yeah, right. I'll be back in 8 or 9. I looked and I had to look back down and went, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm at 20.
Yeah, well, that was because that car, it's called not a warning, but it's like every 10,000 miles you have to change the oil.
Mm.
And I'm like, already, I've only had it 3 months. So it's cost me a fucking fortune. Like I should have bought a car that you drive, not a car that you like to drive.
Yeah. Did you not notice the family sedan that Tom drives? Like a
I know,
big
man.
diesel.
I should have. Although the one good thing about it was, so Geddes got a new car. He got like a Mercedes sort of 4x4
Oh,
situation.
he sent me a picture of it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous. Like, but
Classed up in yoke.
we were driving back from a gig one night, and I could see this, like, because obviously because I've got an Audi TT, so it's so low down that a big car behind you, like, I can't see a fucking thing. Like you're trying to use sign language to turn your lights off. And he drove past me, and I was like, "Oh, Geddes is driving past me. How fast am I going?" And I was going quick, and he overtook me in that, and I was like, "Not today, motherfucker!" Like, what? It felt amazing just to like fucking gun it down a motorway.
Yeah, in
I'm like,
fairness,
you can't catch this little piece of shit. Like,
no, the TT is gonna fucking shoot. Like, in all fairness, you can get nerdy on cars and all the rest of it. It was a revolutionary fucking car when the RS series came over, and they basically based a new Lamborghini around it, like, because how fucking cool it was, how much they
yeah,
nailed it. Like,
it's fucking like I've had so many people making fun of me going, "Oh, it's a hairdresser car," and I'm like, hairdressers don't need to drive that fast, man.
no, they don't. No,
Like,
to be fair, the bubbly one that came out first, and
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean. It looked like a fucking Beetle, and you're like,
yeah.
oh
It was a weird
yeah,
looking car, that one.
yeah. Your one now has the aggressive front on it. You know what I mean? You can get away with it. I mean, as a comedian, I think it's funny and cool that you have it. But if you worked in finance,
Oh, you're a
oh,
wanker.
you're a cunt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're an
You know what I
absolute
mean?
like. Because even as a comedian, you still have to go. I mean, it's secondhand.
Yeah. Heaven
I'm not,
forbid you
I'm
the
not an
price of a
asshole.
new car. Yeah, 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 yeah. Truth be told, if I did have the price of a brand new fucking Audi, I wouldn't. But because just give me a day old one, just a day
Yeah,
old. Because it's sickening when you start the engine. That'll be 10 grand off the price. Ah, for
I
fuck's
know.
sake.
I've never owned a new car. I've never had that issue. Like the last car I had before that was a Nissan Juke, and that was, I don't know if I told you at the time. I knew it was well, I didn't know it was a piece of shit. I saw a picture of a Nissan Juke one time, and I would see them driving around, and in my head, I'm like, that looks like a futuristic Mad Max off-road vehicle. Because I'm an idiot, right?
And you didn't for a second stand back from the wood and look at the trees and say they've called it a Duke.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
I never once was even close enough to hear one. I would look at them and think, I bet you that sounds like this. I didn't realize it sounds like me. I swear to God, I was driving through town one day and a moth overtook me. I was like, I need a new fucking car.
Yeah. But you know what? The only thing is, I would say if you're a Nissan Duke, I reckon these days would because there's the whole simping guys and all these guys. You know, the Nissan Duke would be it would be kind of a simp car, wouldn't it? Like, hey, what are those fucking floundering fucks? You know, those ones that just they pretend to be kind of gay, but they still want to fuck girls, but they just want to bitch about blokes. What are them fellas called?
Like incels? Are they incels? I
Incels.
don't really know, man, because I'm at that point now. There's too many. It used to be just Catholics and Protestants. It was simple, and now there's so many extra groups. I'm like, fucking. What's your first name? I'll just call you that.
Because the amount of people I get commenting on like YouTube videos and stuff like that, and it's people from America. Oh, like if it's Irish people, it'd be like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Of the interviews or whatever I put up. But the bitch moan and complain you see from American people, and they write things like that, like he's so simping for. I'm like, I don't know what.
Oh
what
yeah,
is
I haven't
it?
a
Yeah.
fucking. I haven't a
But
clue. I just all I know with the Nissan Juke is that like that's a hairdresser's car
oh
because
yeah, yeah.
I had an old hairdresser, not a new trendy one. This is a blue rinse hairdresser's car, like
That's
and
Barbara. Barbara has
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember driving it. I had it about 6 months, and I hadn't seen another man driving it. And at about the 6-month period, I was driving through town, and there was another bloke driving a Nissan Juke, and we waved at each other.
Oh no!
We were like, "Yes, fucking vindication!"
But you know that was his wife's. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh
There
yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
I the one new car I ever had. Oh, you can probably guess it was it was it was a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Of course it was.
Yeah. But it literally broke. It broke after 9 months. It was 9 months
Seriously,
old. Yeah, man. Like I put it through the fucking ringer. I put it through the kind of stuff that you wouldn't put like a fucking Panzer tank through, like.
Aye.
And the frame that holds up the engine, called the subframe, it just broke it one night, driving thankfully through, about to drive into a town. It's like a country town on a country road. And everything just went like something out of fucking Mad Max, where, you know, it shuts down. Or like, you know, the lowriders, when they come to a stop and it's like,
Yeah.
and they just go down at the front. That's what mine did at 40 miles an hour, just in the middle of the fucking road. The entire front
Fucking
went,
hell.
look, and steering, brakes, everything. I just rolled up onto the ditch. Thank fuck. But by all accounts, thank you, made out on his email that it was physically impossible to do what I did to break it.
Right.
They were fucking human with me. They came over. 2 guys came over from Japan.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Didn't believe it.
It was a Thurles. No. Where did they train the cars? Templemore. Toyota and Templemore they came to, and they wanted to witness this. And they wanted a detailed account of what I did. And I went, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not telling you what I did. I just drove it. You told me it was a 4x4, and the thing pissed its pants.
Aye.
So they fixed the whole front end all right. Like, but yeah, a month later, a fella with a telegraph pole fucking backed straight through it and fucking wrecked it.
Fucking hell. Well, I had a blowout in that Audi. And I've always, so I was driving down to do a podcast, and as I was driving down the road, I saw the exact same model as my car on a tow truck. And I remember thinking, fucking glad that's not me. And then later that day, Tom, it was the same spot. Like, it was
Jesus.
It was like
that's
a
some
fucking
Shakespearean
time travel,
shit.
like, yeah. And I was just driving along the road, and I heard like a.
Have you run flats on it, or
no? But
that's you wouldn't get a blowout on a run flat. What am I fucking saying? But they are low profile.
Yeah, well, they're just low profile. Fucking, I don't even know. They just came with the car. I know nothing about cars, man, to be honest. But it was like, I had to pull over and then like phone a man, like an actual man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then get towed home by essentially the Northern Irish version of Cletus the Slackjawed Yokel. Like, do you know what a guy who tows cars turns up and you go, that's exactly what I thought you'd look like, and I don't think I want to. I don't want to get into this cabin. Like, skinny, bowl cut, weird teeth, curtains on the inside of the truck. And like,
hard as nails. Eats Mars bars and fucking John Player Blues all day.
Yeah, with the wrappers on, just fucking. And I had to like tow me home to my mum and dad's house, where my entire family for some reason were in their front garden, and it was just like, because I'd been so cocky, but like, oh, I drive an Audi now, I'm a different kind of fucking. You know what I mean? You told me to get a real job. Fuck you. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, all right, big man, do you need some money to pay the man? I'm like, yes, please, mum.
If you think that's a walk of shame or a fucking drag of shame or whatever fucking what way you man, I'll never forget being. Did I ever meet you with one of the Ferraris? No.
No.
I met one or two of the lads, all right, but I used to bring it up, and I used to leave it up near. What's the name of the fucking? I was just up by fucking Lisburn. I used to park it up, leave it up there when I was up there. But I was up there a few times. But I remember I was coming back to my parents' place, and one of these cars. Do you remember I used to fucking experience this thing? I was bright, the most ludicrous Ferrari you've ever seen. It had been modified even. Your man had put titanium straight through exhaust on it. How it was legal on the road, I don't know, right? But like, just like fucking, I never got used to it. It was like you'd sit in for a work day. And then you just have to get out and go and smoke a full fag for it to warm up, because you couldn't sit in the fucking thing, because it would go from that to it just is fucking the Gruffalo under your fucking hole. It was fucking hyper yellow, mad, like bigger than normal Ferrari wheels. It was just fucking fucked up lunatic of a thing, but it was cool as shit all the same, because in a sense I didn't buy it. You know what I mean? It wasn't it was a for professional reason. But at the same time, you're driving it going, I'm getting to experience what there's no backing down of that big of a cunt. Do you know what I mean? You're you're only being a bit of a cunt sometimes, or judgment. Like somebody could look at you and go, "Oh, he's a cunt," but another person would go, "Ah, no, that's a class car. I think it's cool." There was not a person on the planet would ever look at me driving that gun. I think he might be the next father of my child. I think he's. They were just going cunt.
Absolute micro penis car.
But for so many reasons, it was so aggressive, it was so obnoxious, and it was a Ferrari. It wasn't an obnoxious fucking Vauxhall. You know what I mean? It was but I was coming home back to the parents' place, and there'd been fucking a weirder sound coming out of it, and it broke down just like a mile from my parents' place. I went, oh, for fuck's piss and rain. They weren't at home. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I had to get a guy who just lived across the way. He's a farmer, to tow it back in like this 30-year-old piece of shit tractor.
Fuck.
Yeah, latched onto the front of it and dragged the Ferrari back the road. And like every fucking neighbor was bringing out their bins at the time. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Everybody just loving it. Just fucking you knew it. And you could, to be fair, you couldn't blame them. You couldn't, you don't. All I will warning, if it ever happens, you never break down anywhere in public in a Ferrari, because 1,700 cars will pass you, and every one of them will go, like not one will stop you and ask if you're all right. They will just wanker.
A Ferrari's that it's a Sunday car. I mean, it's you're not supposed to drive that everywhere, are you?
No,
really. Like,
no.
Fucking waste of money. You could just have a good Saint Leon.
Just like a guy comes up to me one of the days, a neighbor of the old man, and he walks up and he's like, "Oh, she's a fine, the daughter have the very same." I said, "Oh, does she? Does she? Yeah, no, Peugeot, is it? No, Peugeot." No, we were going to leave that conversation. But you know what? I drove up kind of loving the fact that he wasn't trying to be rude. He just saw a yellow car. That's, but that's on the flip side, that's all it meant to him. Do you know what I mean? Ferrari fucking Peugeot, same fucking thing into some, Forden now.
It's an A to B, that's all you need, isn't it?
But it was enjoyable but I'll never again properly want for a car, if you know what I mean. Like, because now it's like, so what am I supposed to, do you know, it's like that supermodel. You dated a supermodel. It's not, well, sure, everything else after this is just kind of whatever. Yeah, she was a dickhead, but
Yeah, I think that's what I've kind of, even having that Audi, it's like every car I've had before was a car like me, and this car is like an athlete. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It has to be kept in shape.
Have you imposter syndrome in your car? Is that what you're saying?
I have. What's the opposite of imposter syndrome? Is it main character syndrome? Like, yes. I used to drive a Hyundai Accent that was so low to the ground. I was like, this may as well be a Ferrari. You know what I mean? And it was the kind of car that, because there was something wrong with it, it sounded like a Ferrari.
Yeah. So like, did you lower a Hyundai Accent?
No, it was the weirdest fucking car in the world. When you got into it, it was just the seat was just lower down. Like, it almost felt like the seat was under the floor of the car.
Do you know what? I think I was in one before, and I remember thinking, these are very sporty inside. I wasn't expecting it to be a sporty layout it was.
They're a weird wee, and it was one of the best cars I ever had, because it was dead quick for like a fucking 1.3 petrol.
Yeah, sure, it's made out of fucking cardboard. For fuck's
that was
sake.
The thing as well. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
You are the heaviest thing in the fucking car.
Exactly. I think a fly hit the windscreen and the insurance company just wrote it off.
Just fucking wheels go flying backwards. And this fucking fly walks off, just dusting his shoulder.
Was I had a nightmare with that one. It was New Year's Day that broke down, and the timing bit went on it. And I didn't know, so I tried to start it. And obviously, you're not supposed to do that because you fucking wreck the pistons. So I rang my old fella, and he was like, "I'll fucking fix it." And he was hammered drunk and knows less about cars than I do. So he's just fucking completely fucked the engine. We went to this mechanic, and he like fucking scraps cars.
Yeah.
And he went, "I actually have an engine for one of those just sitting there." So he was like, 500 quid. I'll just put the new engine in. You'll get another fucking 5-6 years out of that car. I'm like, brilliant. And then he phoned us back and he went, listen, I've had another look at the car. There's a lot more wrong with it. I think you're better off just fucking writing it off. So my dad was like, right, fucking no problem. And I'm like, that's my fucking car. He's like, fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Men are talking here, son. And then 3 days later, the fucking thing drove past me in town.
Cunt.
I still see it sometimes. I'm like, you fucking bastard.
Oh, that's a nasty cunt.
Yeah. But then, in fairness, it was so disgusting on the inside. He probably earned a living having to clean. I threw up in the back of the car one time drunk. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, it's rare to be in the back of your own car, but to be in the back of your
I
own
was
car
going to
and then
say,
vomit,
to
you're
puke
like,
in your own car. Like, that's like shit in your trousers, but they're not actually on you at the time.
yeah, it's like shitting in your wife's trousers,
Yeah.
but she's wearing them, and you go, get those off, get them off, get those off, get those quickly, quickly, quickly,
Just
quickly.
back up to me, back up to me. That's some kinky shit, isn't it? Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure if we looked it up, it'll be on Pornhub.
Some cunt has done it somewhere. They have for sure. But you are getting more. I've noticed as our conversations carry on throughout the years, you slagged yourself as being a boy in a fucking man's trousers kind of a thing. But you're getting more manly than quote unquote. You know more shit than a lot of fellas fucking do. And even though you kind of put yourself down a small bit, that one I know, because lads, trust me, Mickey, the amount of phone calls I get on Sunday mornings or like Friday afternoons, lads about to fuck at their fucking car or fuck at a bit of skirting. And rather than just, I'm like, there's way more qualified people on YouTube, but I will get a phone call going, so are they called jumper cables in this country? Not if you want to be fucking kicked in the cunt. Like, what do you fucking jump leads? Like, what are you doing with them? So which end do I put onto the wheel? I'm like, oh, for the love.
I think I've hit the point where, like, I mean, I could do some basic shit, but I think I'm just smart enough to know I can't handle this one.
Yeah,
You know
maybe
what I mean?
that's it. You're naturally self-critical, and also you know your tipping point. Whereas lads will just fucking horse into it, or they'll just straight up just put their hands down and go, "I'm not giving it a go. I'm just not giving it a go."
I think as well as you get older as well. Like I was always be sort of self-critical in 20s and even early 30s, and then I don't know if it was like the sort of 2 years of lockdown where you've nothing to do to criticize yourself for. So you start looking at other people and going, no, maybe you're the fucking problem. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. That's actually a deep way of looking at it. Yeah, no, maybe you're the fucking dose. Maybe you're.
And then you go back out into the world and you go, oh no, actually it was me. It was.
Oh yeah, fuck Jesus Christ, yeah. But when
I did it again. I can smoke with this, in my house.
Jesus, yeah, fucking horse into whatever, fucking shoot up. I don't care. Like it's.
I
had Martin Mahony on last week. We were both kind of drunk, from the Hardy Bucks.
Lovely. That's something that I've tried to. I quit drinking for about 2 months there. Quit drinking isn't 2 months. I was off the drink for 2 months.
Yeah.
Fucking lost weight, got in, like, was getting in decent shape and all that sort of stuff. Went on holidays, I had one sip of a fucking whiskey, and I was like, oh jeez, I love it. Oh Christ. And I found myself the other night, I was drinking.
It's like a pervert or something, just going, just one bit of the tip.
My truly happy place is because I live by myself. It's just on my own. I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I just have a couple of whiskeys and a packet of cigarettes, and I just sit on YouTube looking at stand-up. Like, I'm a loser, like, but
that is
perfect.
I mean, that maybe officially classified as being a loser, but what you just said there sounds unbelievably glorious to me. That actually sounds glorious. Like, just I find an obscure, like I watched an hour of Red Fox the other night, and I'd only seen bits. I'd never, because I'm actually teaching a corporate class at the minute in stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Because they asked, and I wrote out this whole curriculum. I went, oh Jesus, I actually know loads of things that have never been said to me before. But when you actually break it down as to how to yourself, pauses, sections and stuff like that, and
the old on the job training,
and when you break it down for somebody live in the moment, and they've written their stuff, and you punched up from, and they're just fucking milling through it, and you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, you're missing all the fucking points here, right? I need to, but I found myself going back then And I just stumbled onto Red Fox, and it was his bit. Wash your ass. Oh my God.
Great. I watched Orny Adams.
Did
Remember the
you?
guy from the Jerry Seinfeld special?
Yeah.
And I remember because actually I heard him on a podcast with Mark Maron talking about that comedian thing, the show. And I was like, fuck, maybe he did get a bit of a bad time, that they kind of portrayed him to be this arrogant asshole, and and then I watched an hour of his stand-up and I was like, fuck, it's really, really good, but you are an arrogant asshole, and that's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
It was a strange thing of and I was glued to it, and there were bits where I was like, that's a great bit, it's fantastic.
But that's not good comedy, Mick. If you're
That's
sitting
the
back
thing.
going, that is very good comedy.
It's like it's like he's watched comedy his entire life, knows exactly how to do it.
Yeah, but
there's
doesn't have
no
funny
soul.
moments.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
There's no
there
thing
needs to
in
be
it.
warmed. It's like when you're watching Cat Williams, no man could call his hair luxurious like the way he can. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, okay.
It's like when you're watching Cat Williams then, not now.
Oh no. Oh, what a disappointment. It's an awful thing, isn't it, to see it go that way?
Yeah, but I remember didn't Cat Williams retire, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He was like, I'm just fucking not doing it anymore. And then did he do some dodgy shit? Not like, when you say a comedian does dodgy shit, we're all like, was it a Me Too? But did he go bankrupt, or was he caught stealing or something?
That sounds vaguely.
I remember thinking he had some sort of weird breakdown.
That sounds vaguely. Did he out the Cosby thing? It was him, was it?
Was it?
I think it was him that outed the Cosby thing early doors, and that they were all at it and all the rest of it. And then a few women kind of came forward because it was like a special he came out with. I'm nearly sure it was him. But I heard something and he has all the fucking signs of a fella who is throwing his Mickey at it, just going, run around the fucking place. And it's just like, oh no, this is the athlete that has come back out of retirement. And
there's a definite thing, I think, with some comedians, where, especially when it's as good as him, you know yourself, every time you write a new hour, you start with, how am I going to beat that last one?
Yeah. I'm literally, I got out 17 minutes in a set of about 25, 28 minutes last night of brand new stuff. And that was all that was on my mind. It wasn't like going, you're just how do I beat the last hour, which is technically still on the fucking road, but you have to fucking start into it. But that's it's not that, which one people prefer. I'm going, how does it beat the fucking last one?
Yeah. And man, I have to tell you this. Jesus Christ, Tom, right?
Oh, lovely. Now pull the car over to the lay-by there, people.
I'm going to put a bit of aloe vera on, just in case the psoriasis flares up with the stress.
The old Vera Duckworth.
Yeah.
Aloe vera.
I was in the Empire last night in Belfast.
Lovely, right?
And they were doing this thing, so they're basically making a stand-up show, but it's kind of on the fringe. So it's one of these things where, listen, just do your normal set, and we'll take maybe 4 minutes out of it.
Okay.
And try and put it on TV. You're like, right, happy days. So Jackie and Jade are going, honestly, just fucking crack on, do what you want. And I was like, I've got this new bit that I can't stop thinking about. I think it's going to be fucking great. So I told Jade, and Jade's going, I mean, yeah, and then I told Jojo Sutherland, and she was like, and then I told Colin Murphy, and he went, don't fucking do that. Just don't do it. Right?
Honesty.
But it was in my head, right? So I'm going through my set, and Tom, I was fucking killing it, right? I mean, I was smashing it.
Lovely.
Packed Empire, and because it was for TV, the lights were on, so you could see everybody laughing.
Yeah.
You weren't talking to the dark and hoping you could hear it. I could see people fucking killing.
And it's that time you want to see people because you're ripping up floorboards. Yeah.
So then I started, my brain just went, now's the time, just do it.
You're the king. Right then, Mickey, you are the king. They're all sitting in the palm of your hand. Yeah. They're in the vinegar strokes even. They're just almost about to jizz for you. And what did you do?
Well, I would like to say I started edging them, but no, what I actually did was, so I have a bit, right? And it's going to make me sound like a bad person even on this.
I don't care.
But I'm trying to do this bit about realizing I'm not a nice person, right? Not that I'm not a nice person, but do you know that thing you do? I'm backtracking already. Do you know that thing you do as a comedian where you go, do you ever just have a really dark thought? Here's one I had, and
Oh my
and you
God.
spin a web of lies around it to fucking right.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen the ad for it's a fundraiser it's a fundraiser for people that have cleft lips,
No.
right?
I think I've seen a picture of it, not an actual played like
So
a
there,
video ad.
so there's a video out of it, right? And I wanted to do this bit about seeing that ad, right? And then because I've been in adverts, I know how adverts are made. So, and I tell a story about I was in a heart bad a couple of years ago, and I nearly got pneumonia because I spent 5 hours in the Atlantic Ocean in November, and all I had to do was walk out of the ocean, and they just kept making me do it. And I'm like, I had a moment as a grown man being told I couldn't walk. I'm like, I've been walking since I was fucking one, and I'm just finding out I can't do it. So I wanted to have this thing where it was like there's a video of a director. I said, okay, Tommy, what we need from you is just I want you to look out into the horizon, yeah, and look really sad, yeah, because your face is fucking disgusting. And, and I'm, I'm basically trying to do this thing where I'm like pretending to be a guy with the fucking hair lips. So I'm like, right, like, and as I'm doing it, it just died immediately. I just felt the atmosphere fucking drain out of the room, right? And I'm like, oh shit. But I'm already in. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
your
stop halfway
arsehole
through
has
this.
closed, but at the
Yeah.
same time you cannot know.
So my brain's like, right, you've two ways out of this. You either just admit defeat now, or you fucking plant the foot and you go for it. So I drop her in the second, and fucking right. And a guy, like the room's dead quiet, and this guy just goes, "That's not funny."
Oh.
And I went, "Well, I haven't got to the end of it yet, so how do you know?" And there was a bit of a, and then I got to the end of it, and I had to go, "Do you know what? That's not funny." Like, I hold my hands up. That did not work at all. But the fucking best bit was as soon as the show finished, all the comedians came running into the green room.
Of course it is.
Like,
of course it is. As you would.
Yeah, Jojo broke a sweat getting into the room. That's not funny. Ah, you piece of shit. Ah. And then they had we're doing like a backstage interview thing afterwards about how the show went, and I'm just sitting there like. And then the worst bit is I don't even have Twitter anymore, and I went on Twitter going, I guarantee you that cunt's tweeted this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's tweeted about it and tagged the BBC in it, and I'm like, fuck it. I was just trying a new bit. Just fucking leave me alone.
Like for all the good that is in stand up in Belfast at the minute, in North of Ireland at the minute, what I suppose like the huge following that's going on. You know what I mean? There's a
boom happening. Like, yeah.
There's a boom happening that isn't happening anywhere in the world. Like there isn't, because it's a small place with a small number of people who are going to comedy. Fucking some people a few times a month, but with that comes mouthy. I was going to say lippy, but sorry.
Yeah, because here was the line I thought of that I thought was fucking fantastic, and I got so afraid I didn't do it because I basically wanted to go. The end of the joke was supposed to be, I know how much an ad costs, and I know how much the surgery costs because of the ad. And if you'd have taken the ad taken the money you spent on the fucking ad, you could have fixed every hair lip in the world, and I wouldn't have to sit in the house feeling like a fucking evil bastard. And then I'd go, because I'm laughing at a wee fella who looks like a blind person drew Elvis. And I thought that would have been enough, and it didn't work.
You know, sometimes, like, oh, that's... But you see, that would work, and I guarantee there'd be people swerving all over the fucking road listening to this, right? Because they're dark motherfuckers. And you know yourself, you said that. And it's funny, isn't it? Like, you get such gusto. You've done 1.5 million gigs, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like, there's a large portion of your brain told you, this is not a good idea to tell it all, Tom.
No, do you know what it was? My brain was going, it wasn't even going, this isn't a good idea. My brain was going, if you get the rhythm of this right, this is going to fucking kill. And then as I was doing it, my brain was going, oh, man, I wasn't paying attention. You said the rhythm? What happened? So it just, but again, I was like, no, I managed to pull it back. I went back into the stuff that I knew would work, and fucking gig went great. But all I could think the rest of the night was, I'm going to get that bit working. That's now become a personal vendetta against me with me.
Oh, like it's funny you say it, because I did a bit about the traveler community last night that I tried 3 years ago, once and once only, and I mean, it's in a positive light before anybody. Actually, nobody listens to this gives a fuck about. They know anyway, but it's at the same time it's in a positive light, but because it's such a sensitive subject, you know what I mean? Because it's minorities and all the rest of it, like. But it's like, fuck it. Like, funny is fucking funny, like, and sure, look at the fucking head in me, and you know what I mean, like. So, but 3 years ago, and the club in particular I tried it in, I should have known better too. This is another scenario. Like, it's a fucking hard slog given the scenario there. You'll know the club I'm on about. Like, it's, it's a hard slog.
Aye.
Should be fucking amazing, but it's a hard slog.
Oh, is this in Dublin?
No.
Oh.
But it's
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it shouldn't it shouldn't be as hard as it is. In fact, it has all the potential to be amazing, but and I'll drop of vinegar is put on the whole fucking scenario at the beginning. Then I was putting fucking, and I put that joke, and I was devastated like that. I was devastated because I was like, I'm crushing here. Well, I'm doing all like crushing for what would be what is going well in this place. And I dropped that saying, and I went, this is fair too. Like, on what I'm saying, it's like a semi-positive light. I'm doing, and I figure it's not racist if the impression is really good. And I was on point. I mean, way better probably than most people would actually even consider. I mean, I was nailing it.
Yeah.
And I said, I put it away in my brain. I went, maybe I'm not ready. But last night I went, oh, this is getting done. But I was in Cork last night in a club, Mickey, where that joke would have worked last night.
Aye.
Your joke would have worked there last night. I'm not joking with you. Like, it would have, or that's the vibe. Aye. Like, there's
a weird thing. Like, we've got a great thing, like with Lavery's in Belfast, where it's like everyone goes to that, knows they all listen to podcasts, so they've heard us talking about comedy, so they know that
say the most horrific things.
Yeah,
just for fun. You know, just for fun. Like, yeah.
And there's a weird thing I found. I haven't done the Empire as much as I used to, but the last 2 or 3 times I've been in, there's been a moment during the set where someone has gasped. And it's like their clientele is, because it's the oldest comedy club in Belfast, and it's like, I mean, Lavery's is a 3-minute walk if you're walking backwards. It's insane to me that, like, in the same street, you just have a completely different group of people, where it would be an applause break in one room and a fucking,
hold on, Mickey,
a letter to their politician in the other.
Did you did you just say, Belfast, that you cannot believe that only 3 minutes of away people are polar opposites? What? Just,
Yeah, I know, it's all that Good Friday Agreement money's gone to my head.
It is, yeah. Like, but it's funny then. I'd be honest, the first 5 gigs I did in the Empire, I was amazed they asked me back every time, like, because it was like I got laughs, but you're like, what I was used to was doing gigs in the likes of Dailies and Lavery's and stuff, where you're absolutely batting it in over the fence, like.
Yeah.
And I'm going in there and I'm going, molasses, right? And it was, and for whatever reason, you've Colin Murphy fucking hosting, for the love of Christ. You know what I mean? But of course, he's tearing up trees because he's Colin Murphy and he's their guy. But it was about the 5th or 6th time I did it, and I remember I realized what you need now in Northern Ireland. You need to be some way known by the people in the audience.
It's a weird. I think there's a thing in Northern Ireland where because you see it with English people. When English people come and do that open, the first spot in the Empire, if they don't make a joke about being in Belfast and about fucking it being rough for the Troubles or whatever, the audience don't go with them. There's a strange thing of, like, acknowledge who we are, what this is, and then we'll listen to you. But if you just come straight in talking about, I was on the tube the other day,
get the fuck.
Like, fuck, we've got one train. Shut the fuck up. Like,
and that was the thing. It took me to about the 6th one, and of course in Lavery's, sure, of course I was well known with the gang because I was on podcasts with G and I was up there the whole time. So I was like, what? what's wrong with these people in the app? And it was just, they didn't know me. So they didn't give one fuck. They were just going, hey, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And but I remember the fifth or sixth time where it went really well. I looked in the audience and it was like 20 blokes that looked kind of like me. Do you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
we're like, not we're related, but at the same time, if you know, we were all going to the same fucking pub style of
Aye.
people, like, you know what I mean? And they were like, there was a point where you know, when you're kind of nearly embarrassed for them, you're going, lads, tone it down. I literally took a drink of fucking water, and you're
Aye.
roaring laughing. Take it down a notch, boys.
I think there's a thing with the Emperor. I think I sort of, because last night was the first time I've been in when it was properly rammed, and it's essentially 5 different rooms you're playing.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
a balcony that's pretty far away, then you've got people below you on a high stage that are their necks are a bit sore watching. You've got some people that are comfortable in the middle on seats, then people standing beside them, then people in the wings that you have to
Are
remember.
tiered up in the wings as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it is kind of like fucking, you know, trying to do a gig, but you're a cat and there's a laser pen. Like,
And you're doing it in a music venue too.
yeah.
There's a massive difference when you've got a 5 foot or 6 foot high stage. It's way different than being in
Oh,
you know, a
100%.
stand up like that one. Cork people call the pub Collins. We would call it Coughlin's. Americans in English would call it Cufflin's. Which I like that. Just you just pull your trousers down, just rub your legs with the place. Like it's
Aye.
just what because I wanted to see was lightning couldn't strike twice. I did it a couple of years ago. I knew a kid took it over. Christopher took it over. I went, I met him. He's a lovely lad. And he went, do you want to bring your show here? I went, that'd be great. So I brought the show there. It fits about 50 people rammed, right? It went really well. I went, well, maybe it's just, you know, people who like me or whatever. But went there last night. Maybe a handful of people actually came to see me. Fucking hell. The rest didn't know who the fuck I was. But it was exactly the same. Lightning struck the spot as hard, if not harder. With new material, Nick. Like, and you're going, this, and you come away with a bold sense of amazement from yourself, because I was coming with, I'd say that's, and again, how long are we at it? And it only takes one gig for us to turn around and go, I'd say I'm the great. I don't even need to practice that. That's done.
Call Netflix, tell them I'm fucking ready.
Like you longer the tooth at it. And last night, 2 people told you going, a senior comedian in Colin Murphy went, don't fucking do that, you mad cunt. The telly's out there. And you went, yeah, fuck Ollie.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm going to it.
Absolutely. You still do the scratch card, but what if?
That's it.
I mean, if
what
this works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, well,
fuck. I'm sure. Listen, I've got the fat story in the back pocket. Like, you know, whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I can get myself out of this. So show me the hands again, because I was intrigued, because we did the last time I saw Mick, we did those conspiracy guys.
Yeah,
it's a fucking. And I was concerned about your hands, like, and your psoriasis, like, because I went down. I spoke to the sister about it, and she went, his gut health is all over the map. I fucking guarantee you.
Yeah. That's been the thing that's been a fucking nightmare about it, is that everyone says that psoriasis is a gut issue apart from dermatologists. So,
well, I mean, yeah. In all fairness, I'll go with a dermatologist as well too. Like, you know,
yeah,
it is kind of there.
Well, it's the one, whoever I've been chatting to, whatever doctor I've seen, when I ask about it, they're like, "No, that's nonsense. It doesn't work." So they were giving me this medicine that the side effect of the medicine was my fingernails started to come off.
What?
So yeah, so I went back to the doctor, like, my fingernails are falling off, and the doctor was like, "Oh, that's the psoriasis in your nails now." And I was going, "Yeah, but it only started after I started taking these fucking tablets." So one of the major side effects is the skin on your hands and feet sheds. So I was like, so the side effect of the fucking tablets is the condition I have. Why is no one addressing this? Do you know what I mean? So then I ended up, I went to a private dermatologist, paid like £300 or something.
Of course you did.
And because I was asking her about UV therapy, I was like, something I've heard about, I was like, I'd love to try that. Because the drugs are mental. The drugs for autoimmune stuff are, yeah. So basically, the doctor told me that there's a new drug on the market, and it's injections, and they're fantastic, but they're controlled by the NHS because they're expensive. So the only way to get them is to take 2 doses of 2 different immunosuppressants, and have them both fail. So she was like, so what happens is one of them is really bad for your liver, the other one's really bad for your kidneys and your bone marrow, and then we'll try you on the other thing. And I was like, I'd rather have psoriasis, to be honest with you. I might just keep this because whatever you
Jesus
just said sounds
Christ.
fucking horrible. And then I just, reading online, got into sort of looking after my gut health, just eating more. I mean, it's simple, make yourself have 5 bits of fruit and vegetables a day,
Yeah.
probiotics, decent supplements, fucking staying away from sugar, staying away from dairy, not too much gluten, and I'm fucking.
Apparently, a really good one for your gut health, and it aside from the probiotics or whatever, is once you're probiotic and you're up, you have it. Have you seen this stuff? I remember the old man. He's mad for fucking healthy stuff. Like years ago, when he started working with Polish lads, they were all into pickled stuff. Everything was pickled or gone off a bit, and they were all mad into kefir. Have you seen this stuff?
No, I've heard about it. I think
you'll have seen. Oh, I guarantee you'll see it in the healthy aisle now in the shop. We're talking 15 years ago. The old man was up in this stuff. He was getting it in the Polish shop in town. I'm like, what in sweet? And it's slightly gone off milk. I think it's
shit, okay.
Like it's almost a yogurt. It's almost like yop. It's almost a yogurt drink, and it's actually grand. But it's got the 5 or 7. Like if Yakult has 20 million or billion of these things, or if a probiotic, it's only 1. But apparently this kefir stuff has all 5.
Aye.
And cheap as chips, you get a bottle of it, drink a cup of tea. It's supposed to be firing on all fucking cylinders. The old man turned 70 the other day. He looks 50. Do you know what I mean?
Well, my old fella's, he's mad into apple cider vinegar. That's every day.
Oh, that's supposed.
He's mad about that stuff.
I remember hosting a thing down. Do you remember the fucking Darina Allen? Did you ever? You wouldn't have really. The Allen family. She was a huge TV chef back in the 90s, and she's this huge place down in West or East Cork, and she runs she has it's all markets and everything stuff. She fucking runs this huge kind of it's cooking school and stuff. You'd pay like $5,000 to spend a week there, but it all spiraled out of control and went fucking drastically wrong in the last decade or so. Her husband was done for kiddie porn on the on the laptop. By all accounts, he took the hit for his son, who is married to a current TV chef who has her own line of fucking food out and all the rest of it. And the idea was that, well, we're already established. They're establishing themselves. You're taking the hit for him being a dirty bastard because they'll ruin him. And her son now at the minute is after getting 2 years for like coke dealing or something, like multimillionaires. Yeah. Fucking but they asked me down to host a thing at some kind of big indoor fucking food market festival thing they had, but like it was 20 minutes of fucking work. But I went around just getting free samples off everybody else. Oh, you have cheese that is from a fly. Lovely, let's try that. But I got to the apple cider vinegar one. Oh, sorry, she gave a talk at the thing I was hosting, and she was talking about this shit like you'd put an extra 2 inches on your cock. Like there was nothing they couldn't fucking do because it was fermented fucking apples.
Yeah.
Like it would cure a cold. It would like you'd pass your fucking GCSEs or even start fucking better. Like it was ridiculous fucking stuff. It was.
And there's definitely something in it because I'm just gonna put this light on actually because dusk is approaching.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I thought you got a little faded.
But I've noticed I would always get colds and have allergies and stuff like that. And even from looking after my gut health, I haven't had hay fever this year.
And you've been on the apple cider vinegar?
No, just from the gut health stuff, just from the glutamine and so I'm taking vitamin D, probiotics, flaxseed, also omega-3s, and then this L-glutamine stuff twice a day. And I'm like, I normally have 3 or 4 colds a year. Like when the season's change, I'm always fucking dosed, and I haven't had any of that. And again, the shits are fantastic.
Well, I'd see to spring it back. Like I'm so proud of you of the shits. I'm so happy. Like because it's something I get concerned about because I was so proud of myself. Almost nobody else was around to say it. I'm going to say it out loud on the podcast, but it was Natasha's brother was over. And we were talking about shits as grown men tend to do.
Yeah,
and he was, and he now he's fond of the sauce. He works like a fucking freak, but my God, does he party? Like, he enjoys himself. But he was giving out he needs to straighten himself up because the shitting situation was bad. Like, and he turned to me, like, and we were having pints at the time. He was like, what way would you be now? Like, and she herself started laughing. She went, oh my God. That man is a 3 log a day and bricks. Like, and I always have been. Like, only if I've had a feed of beer the night before, it'll be 5 a day.
Yeah.
But I'm so raging nobody was around for this, because I think this was I should say it on stage someday. But he was like, really? What? So no bother, like, because I'd be there sometimes trained as a man. My arsehole just needs to see porcelain, and it's like a fucking otter off a fucking riverbank, not even a ripple.
Like a Japanese torpedo. Just
it was just, and there was a guy sitting at the table texting, or he was just on his phone, and all I saw was his shoulders go. And I had to address it because I'm a wanker and a fucking look at me comedian.
Oh yeah.
I said, you could use that one if you want. He says, what is it? Otter off a riverbank. You went, man, fucking class.
Just hand him a flyer for a show.
Yeah. More so, I was more proud of my arse just needs to see fucking porcelain. But the otter off the riverbank was probably just over egging the pudding. But it was a needed moment. But I was. But
I've definitely noticed it now. Sorry.
Are you gymming and stuff as well? Like, cause
yeah, man. So I've been like, I haven't been. For
I sound like fucking Joe Rogan now, fucking pestering cunts to see if they're fucking doing yoga or something. Like, I'm only just, I just concerned about your fucking health every so often. Like, it'll be the middle of a day, and I'll just think of Mickey and go, I hope he's doing well.
Be some funeral though, won't it? Yeah, do you know what it is? Well, it's like the best thing I think about being a comedian, because I genuinely do like going to the gym. So you've all the time in the world to go. But what I've started doing is I bought a VR headset. So if I can't get to the gym when it's busy, I play a boxing game on it.
Okay, sorry, I thought you
I've lost a stone.
Have you?
I swear to fuck. Like, it's called Thrill of the Fight, and you can go online. There's videos of like actual professional fighters playing this thing. Like, oh, this is bullshit. And then a minute or so in, they're like, fucking bastard. And it's a great way to get a workout done.
Fuck.
Just move the sofa.
I genuinely thought it was just going to be flat out porn for you. Like,
no, the porn was terrifying. I looked at the porn once and I haven't gone back. It was too much.
Is it? Because what's the crack? Like, is it really? Oh, Jesus Christ! Like,
so when I bought that headset, came home, and my girlfriend was in the house, and
Rage.
I was more like, fucking, she's going to tell me off for buying a fucking headset. Like, you know, when you buy something extravagant, you're like, don't look in the bag.
And by the way, don't look out into the car park outside either.
Yeah. In fact, don't look anywhere in this house. Get out.
That samurai sword, it was a present. It was.
Yeah. The other one I did buy, and the one before that I bought also. But the lightsaber, that I bought that too. But basically, I was like, I bought this headset, and my girlfriend went, you can get porn on those. And I felt like going, how the fuck do you know that? And I don't know that. Yeah, her. So we were.
Did you not know it, or were you just?
No, I did. I was just being like,
oh, right.
I don't know. But so she was like, we're both like, should we look at porn? We weren't like, light some candles, let's watch porn. It was like, let's see what the fucking deal is here.
An eye each, was it? Like, just
yeah. So my girlfriend's sitting on the sofa, and I like went. I don't know why I didn't even think you could type Pornhub into this thing. So I like typed into the search bar like VR porn, and a website came up that you had to pay for. But I was transported into the room. So I saw it's like £5 a month, and I tried to storm out. Like, it's fucking disgusting. And a free video started.
Of course.
So I found myself thinking, Jesus, that washing machine does look broke right enough. And then looked round, and it was just a big set of fake knockers swinging in my face. I tried to latch onto one of them because it was that realistic. I was like, Then, but you know, like those free videos where like it's like a trailer for the entire movie.
Yeah.
So then at one point it was just this woman bouncing on a big dick, and he's like spreading her arse cheeks apart, and I was looking up her anus from an angle that a doctor wouldn't see. And my girlfriend's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm just standing there.
Ready to fight it.
Yeah, like, afraid to take it off. Like, So it's too much. The VR porn's too much for me.
You've already, because I thought, do you know what? I don't ever need to see it because that is you've done it for me now. You've transported me.
I did try it again, right? So when it was on my own.
Oh no! Hey! Any experiment needs at least 2 fucking cracks at it, right? Yeah.
So what happened was, I found one where you could watch sitting down. And
you can look on.
I think the idea behind it is you're supposed to sit down. When you look down, there's a cock where your cock's supposed to be. Now,
Is there? What's there?
The problem with that is that you have to get the boundary. You have to get the headset set up properly so it knows exactly where you are. Otherwise, you have to maneuver into position where you can't breathe. So I was trying to fully immerse myself. And
I love you were doing it in the downstairs toilet, like, you know what I mean? Just a tiny little understairs fucking. How the girls? You're well. We're all in this, right? Okay. I'll take the toilet roll off holder off the wall. Yeah.
It's so realistic. You find yourself thinking, I don't even have a stepmother. When did mom and dad split up?
And I sure as fuck don't have a black cock. How did that happen?
Well, I do, but that's because of the gut health.
That's the psoriasis. That's cleared up. Yeah.
Apple cider vinegar. I tell you what, I had 2 glasses. My cock turned black. It's amazing.
I shouldn't have been dipping it in the glasses, but at the same time, I didn't know to drink it. Oh Lord, yeah, because you transported me straight to. Do you remember Idiocracy?
I've never seen it.
It's a pity you've probably heard about it too many times now at this stage. But you just take a gift and get drunk at home by yourself. Couple of whiskeys, maybe a spliff actually would be class.
Oh yeah,
because all you'll do is keep on pointing at the screen, going, "Oh my fucking god, this guy's a fucking G. Oh my god, he's fucking nailed it. Like, this is where we're going. Like, this is it." And it's so fucking literally like how we got the funding to make this. Like, it's just dick jokes after dick jokes after more dick jokes. He got poked in the ass, but it's just like, it's not. Maybe it's not for girls. I don't think it's like, if your missus watched now, she go, yeah. See, it's funny.
Did I see someone on a podcast talking about that's the movie that made Crocs popular? Yeah.
But
accidentally, like,
yeah. He was on Joe Rogan talking about it. I wouldn't listen to Joe that often, but when I saw it was your man, and he just took the piss out of it. He was like, yeah, I can't fucking believe we got to make it either. Like, it was, but also it was just the silliness, and we were kind of silly, but kind of guessing, and then before you know it was like, oh, this is could be an accurate way of looking at the future. Actually, it's fucking ridiculous, but you'll thank me for it. But I would get just a little bit pissed and a little bit stoned, and you'll come back with one word. I just want you to let me know you've seen it by just texting one word.
Right.
And the word, you'll know the word. It's because it'll be the bit we both laugh at. Like, it'll be the bit we both laugh at. You'll know the word. And you will do it forever every time you hear the word pop up in fucking health and all the rest of it.
It's a weird thing I found too. Seeing, like, trying to, like, have a couple of whiskeys and watch a movie. It has to be, like, have you seen The Offer?
No.
So it's basically it's Miles Teller, and it's a 10-part series about the people who made the Godfather movie, the producers and directors. And stuff. Man, one of the best things I've ever seen. It's fucking superb, but it's obviously set in the 70s, and the mafia's involved. So you just find yourself being like, all I want now is a big bowl of meatballs and a glass of red wine, and a cigarette and a whiskey and a cigar and a line of coke and a hooker, and you just find yourself sitting in your own living room like, I fucking told you got to get Paul these 3 points, you fucking mook.
I thought I was that easily influenced. Like, literally, I'm watching fucking going, I would love some ziti right now, watching Goodfellas. And I'm like, I don't know if I've ever had ziti. I don't
even know what ziti is.
Yeah. I think it's a type of funny pasta or something.
Eggplant parm.
Yeah.
I've never even fucking seen it.
I went out and bought Wilkinson sword razor blades just to cut garlic, just to see if it would melt in the pan. I'm that easily influenced when it comes to class stuff like that.
I'm exactly the same. And even Anchorman, I tried to quit smoking one time, put Anchorman on. 5 minutes in, I had to go and buy fags.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's Anchorman. Like,
I had to nearly pack in watching fucking Peaky Blinders that I nearly went back on the fags. I'm like, just tell me when he smoke. It's almost like, fucking, if you have a kid in the room, you got to block their eyes when tits come on or something. It's almost like meet that with the fags. I'm just going to look out the window there because he is enjoying the fuck out of that fag.
Oh, he smokes.
And he horses into
fucking,
yeah.
He smokes the way I wish I could smoke. I used to love when people can smoke and talk at the same time. I'm like, how do you do that? How have you got the lung capacity?
Yeah,
I ran out of breath saying lung capacity. Did you hear that?
You did, yeah. I'll have to actually mark that and speed up Mick's voice because just he do. I've done it once or twice in my life because they took out my adenoids at the back of my nose years ago because my back of my nose was all fucked up. But a handful of times I've done it and I felt cool as fuck. I've talked while smoke was moving in the direction my mouth was talking, but literally I started crying like straight away. Smoke just went up the back roads and fucking nearly got sick. But,
I like smoking, but I've never been gasping for a fag. And I remember working with a girl once, and she was like, I was smoking, can I have a drag of that? And I gave her the cigarette, and do you know when you see someone do that, like, and it's coming out their nose, mouth, and then you watch the cigarette actually deflate.
Yes, yeah,
like it sucked on it so hard it's got skinnier.
Yeah.
And she handed me it back, and I was like, "Fuck, you just smoked an entire cigarette in 3 puffs. It's impressive."
Fucking hideous coming from a girl, like, but yeah.
Yeah, I was also like, if you can suck a fag, what else can you suck? Weird thing to say to your sister, but
I knew you were. I was praying you were going there. I'm not stepping on your punchline, all right? But I was so, no, please say it. And don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
That was one of those ones where I'm like, I can't leave that in the air because I sound like a real cunt.
Oh, yeah.
Just go, what else can you suck? Anyway, Tom, what about the car?
Yeah. I shouldn't have doubted you. I shouldn't have fucking doubted you. Jesus Christ. It's a long old haul. That was your first TCG long haul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long haul fucking on the first one, isn't it? Like,
oh, definitely. Yeah, it was like it was great. I mean, I think it was for that one because I'm such a fan of that podcast.
Yeah.
For the first hour, I was like, I can't believe I'm here.
I looked over once or twice, and I absolutely saw that picture on your face. Gordon didn't at all because he's in full flow, like, But I looked over a few times, and you had the look of a man who's like, "If I got a golden ticket, I got a golden ticket," running around just shaking fucking Grandpa Joe in the whatchamacallit inside
absolutely.
the bed.
It's such a good like because that's one of the podcasts where like I remember I listened to the Princess Diana episode of that.
Right.
And I was doing a string of gigs over in England, so I'd like hired a car and I just had tons of driving to do all weekend. And that just filled in the gaps of the drive. And I almost crashed my car listening to fucking a podcast about a car crash. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking phenomenal. So it's another one as well where because this podcasts are long, I'll let them all pile up.
Yes.
And then be like, just binge all of them. I can't wait.
Our one was class.
Yeah,
that'll be a one because I was just fascinated by that. I don't know if I assume we're allowed to say. I think he has said it on his own podcast. But either way, sure, we leave it to the masses. But it is one of the ones where nobody can deny. Like, you can have an opinion either way, but nobody can deny that isn't a well put together fucking piece of work.
Yeah.
Like,
there were some absolute fucking belters, not like.
Yeah, Jesus Christ Almighty! I did another one recently with you would have liked. It was with the oh Jesus, the Rothschilds.
Oh, fucking right.
Outstanding. It was outstanding. But do you know what? I was so charged up. We did 9.5 hours, right? 9.5 hours. And I still had it in the tank. I was going, oh, we're wrapping up. Oh, I was that charged
still
up.
Had some left, yeah.
I was still charged up going, fucking, and normally I'd be waning a little bit and then have to put, go to the reserve fucking fuel and go, we're into the home straight here. But in that particular one, whatever it was, I think I've hit, it was good to have done one so recently with you because the brain was fired, ready to
yeah, you're ready to rock.
But like, I've showed up to his house. I remember him asking me if I wanted to do a long one time. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. But I had to call over to his house when he lived in Dublin one time, and they were only in the middle of one, and they were at their
Aye.
break, and he was popping out, just dropping something out to me. And the lads came out for a fag, and 2 lads came out with him. Had you said the boys had all 3 of them had been fucking for 3 hours, like, they looked that beaten up, and I was kind of half second thinking, going, I don't know if I have it in me to be to be mentally fucking molesting each other for fucking 7 hours. I don't know if I have it, but it's one of those fucking ones. And it's so funny, like, because you find yourself in that circle where you go look, and then all of a sudden, like the Venn diagram between the handful of lads that are doing, like, Dick Turn Yums, Get Us. It does. I rarely get people sending me on like Shane must be on a different thing then, because I would listen to Shane's podcast every now and then too. Like, but he never seems to be on the, as people send me Gordo, you, and Get Us, and maybe the odd time McCartney. That would be seems to be the Venn diagram. Now maybe that's just
I think
that's how
like
the
Shane's,
system works. Like,
Shane's podcast has got that level. It's mainstream. It's almost like a radio show. Like
it was always going to be. It was always going to be.
He's absolutely smashed the sort of how he markets it, how he puts it out. He's nailed it. Whereas I think the rest of us are just like fucking, there you go, have it. We're gonna go back to the pub.
Yeah. I suppose you need to be in that. Yeah, you need to have that want to go, right, we need to cut this up into 45 pieces and have it out every 30 seconds. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I wouldn't have, if I had the time, I still wouldn't fucking do it.
Yeah, I have the like we moved to a new studio for our podcast, and I was like, I'll do the clip editing, and it's been 3 weeks, and I haven't had time to sit and look at one of them. And then I've realized I've said I can do the clip editing, and I can't. I don't know how to do that. I have to go and do a degree first, and then come back.
No, you fucking don't. Have you? If this fucking idiot can do it, you honestly,
it's a weird, like, I can do it. Well, I can do it on a phone, but it's just it's that painstaking. Do that wee tiny fucking bit of like, okay, no, there, that's perfect.
No, you got to go back. You got to. Are you using an Apple thing? Apple.
Yeah.
Get your hands on Final Cut Pro.
I know, that's another thing I need to do that as well. I'm just a lazy bastard.
But it makes, like, I'm a lazy, like, you just can't go wrong. It literally kind of goes, are you sure, Tom? This would be way funnier if you moved it one more frame. You're like, oh, you're right, Brenda. Thank you. You know what I mean? It's like, it fucking knows. It fucking knows, right? And it just goes, you wanted that deleted, didn't you? I fucking well did. How is this? And shit is just so much faster than anything I've ever used before.
I need to get on it, even for stand-up clips and stuff, because it's.
But the stand-up clips is the big one, because you film it wide,
yeah,
and you're going, how the fuck? And what's mental, right, is that I'm seeing, like, Vittorio puts up like 15-second clips, completely out of context, talking with the audience. You don't need to know. You just hear laughter, and he says something.
Aye.
And I was like, well, what is it? And it's because it's so close up in him, and it fills the phone. None of these black bars, top and bottom. It fills. So I just Googled how to do that in Final Cut Pro. It takes all of about 17 seconds of resizing it.
Aye.
And you may, if you're on stage, you may walk out of shot a little bit, but very rarely. But the camera's normally centered on you anyway, and it'll catch you. I remember putting up a clip, and it was an experiment to put it up maybe 6 months ago. Do you remember I used to do a bit about Belfast traffic lights? You always liked it.
Yeah.
Put it up with the big black bars as it would be on YouTube, but it was fucking much smaller. I don't know, a few hundred fucking views. Put it up, took it down, put it up as another in that shape, fill in the phone. 8,000 views in like 3 minutes or something. It was ridiculous. And even I shortened it to less context, like.
Aye.
But it was just people laughing at your man saying cunt. Know, and Belfast. That was it.
Unreal.
It was the shape of it. Aye. It just changed the whole thing. Now,
it's a weird thing to try and get used to, is like even trying to get used to the sort of algorithm. Because I was constantly getting shadow banned just for putting up things where I was swearing. And
I know I did, yeah.
Like, my name on TikTok was Micky fucking Bartlett. I didn't realize the Chinese don't like that, so I had to change that. And lads were telling me that, like, if they had a clip of me on their podcast, it wouldn't do well. So they would take it down, take my tag out of it, and put it back up, and it would crush. And I was like, fucking, why is it always me? Huh? Making fun of people with cleft lips, and all of a sudden I can't fucking be famous online.
Yeah, dude, there needs to be because you see some stuff going up and you're going, what? How the fuck is that what it is? But it's got the vanilla touch. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
But there's also me going, I'm not. No, because here's the thing, you know, and I know, like when you crush, and you didn't do it because of you played to the fucking. Do you know, it'd be really nice to say out loud, like
Yeah.
you, like fair fucks, you went and ripped into that fucking joke last night, even though the resounding.
Oh, I mean, it was
Pre-game
universally
fucking chat was
panned.
like, don't
Yeah.
do it. The whole audience weren't doing it, but in your head, you still thought.
Well, I think it's just the thing is, especially when you do comedy as long as we're doing it, you also get to the point of not only are you going, is this better than last year? You're also going, right, what have I not talked about?
Yeah.
So this, not that it has to be darker and darker, but you find yourself going, can I get a joke out of this? That's more challenging.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's harder to get someone to laugh about fucking somebody dying or a fucking, like, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that becomes part of the fun then. Because if you can pull it off, you feel like a fucking king.
Oh, if you can get that over the line, like that is like, well, no, motherfuckers, let me fucking see. Fucking see. But do you know what I mean? I won't keep you much longer because you'll probably go.
So, yeah, I'm actually going to go to Larry's and try that bit out again tonight.
Fuck it, do. And that's the glorious thing about, because you've such fucking killer lineups too. It keeps you fucking sharp. Like, because even I'd forgotten I'm gigging in Dublin tomorrow night, and it was like, oh, drive. And then I looked at the lineup that he put me on. It's like me, Emma Doran, John Cleary, and Edwin Salmon. I went, oh, I'm fucking going. Oh, they're
class.
Are you fucking joking me?
There's nothing better than when you see a lineup and you go, I wish I wasn't on the night.
Yeah,
I wish I was watching this.
There was a little bit of me said that, but then I went, no, and now I need to take whatever, because last night it was all new kids, like, you know, on ahead of me, like, and it was like, geez, that thing is a wizard. I'm like, no, look, you do it this long and just try and get better. But like, there's no talk. It's all 4 headliners tomorrow night. Like, so like, oh, motherfuckers,
coming out swinging.
Oh, this is helicopter going out with the helicopter, and by that I mean my cock. I mean,
the Chinook.
We are, 2 cocks. Also, I need to go Google that right now because I haven't looked at it in years.
It's the apple cider vinegar.
September. Is it 27th?
Yeah.
We're in Limerick. I bet you never gigged in Limerick, have you?
I haven't actually, no.
There you go. We're going to be at the University Concert Hall in Limerick. Peach.
Can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
Peach. Let's try and line you up with it, because if you're coming, no, you may have to shoot back up or fucking fly somewhere or whatever as you normally do. But if you are, let's try and tee you up with gigs down Cork, Limerick direction, Friday, Saturday.
Epic. Sounds great.
And on top of that, you're coming to Galway?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I think I'm going to be in Australia.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it anyway.
Going back out to do that for another month. I think I need to double check the dates. I might make Galway. I can't remember when it is.
I think it's around the 25th, the week of the 25th of October.
Yeah.
Well, look, it'll be all right anyway. We'll fucking we're going to see each other in next month. And are you still road shows, tour shows on the go?
I've got one tomorrow night, or no, Friday night.
Is that it done then?
That's the summer tour done. Then I've got the Waterfront in December.
Class.
And then I've made a boo boo though, because I'm essentially going to have a new hour for December, which means I'll have written 3 hours this year, and I'm like, fucking hell, can I not just get to enjoy some of it? Yeah, why burn through a fucking your new hour? Yeah, well, fuck you and your cleft fucking lip palate fucking jokes. Do you know what? This is just almost like onomatopoeia, as they say in Shakespearean circles, and you're shedding your skin, much like you're shedding your new each show. Micky's gonna look like a fucking newborn child with a beard when you see him in the Waterfront in December. Holy fuck. You look like Earthworm Jim.
Just shitting every day. Earthworm Jim. Oh, this is too silly. So this is title of this podcast has been Shitting with the Boys. That's what we need to do on VR, for just sitting there, just watching people take good shit.
Yeah. It might be on it. I'll have a look.
Oh, it's definitely, as soon as I said it, It's definitely on there.
All right, well,
Mick,
listen, I'm going to bounce because I need to go and do this gig.
go get that out of your
Cheers,
system.
out.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on, man. I'll see you soon.